market projections are calling for a December crush of about 194 million bushels. Should that forecast hold true, it would make for the second largest monthly crush on record. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange is reducing its estimate of Argentina's soybean crop to 46 million tons, for a drop of 500,000 tons from the exchange's previous estimate. The European Union is increasing its wheat export projections for the current marketing year to 26 million tons. That's a 2 million ton gain from the EU's previous forecast. Rounding off prices at the Chicago Board of Trade, soybean futures are lower on Friday morning. The March soybean contract is down 11 cents at $13.42 per bushel. March soy oil is down nearly 0.2 of a cent at 44.48 U.S. cents per pound. March soy meal is down $4.60 at 422.50 per hundredweight. Corn futures are higher on Friday morning, with the March contract up 4 cents at 5.39 per bushel. Chicago oats are slightly higher, with the March contract up 2 cents at 3.48.5 per bushel. Wheat futures are higher on Friday morning. Chicago March is up 2 cents at 6.49. Kansas City March is up a half cent at 6.26.5, and Minneapolis March is up 1.5 cents at 6.21. That's a look at the ICE futures and the Chicago markets for Friday morning, January 29th. For Markets Farm in Winnipeg, I'm Glenn Halleck.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multi-function LCD display, Super Boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
The opinions expressed during this show do not represent those of this station. If you've missed any of this show, you can follow the podcast at energeticcity.ca. Now, an in-depth look at the news and information shaping our community. This is Moose Talks with your host, Doug Craig, on Moose FM.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Moose Talks. A little later on, we're going to be chatting with Jessica Kalman with the Fort St. John Literacy Society to talk about Family Literacy Week, which is this week, and also some great upcoming events they have planned in the coming weeks and month or so. But first, we have a brand new executive director of the Fort St. John branch of the Salvation Army. So we're going to get to know him a bit and his new role and what he's looking forward to in the year ahead. So Jared Braun, the executive director of the Fort St. John Salvation Army, joins me now. Good morning, Jared. Welcome to Moose Talks.
Good morning, Doug. It's good to be with you.
Thank you very much for taking some time to chat with us today. So, you're from Fort St. John, but for those people who maybe don't know you, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? How did you end up working for the Salvation Army?
Yeah, so I've lived in and around the community for quite a bit of my life, all the way since I was a teenager, and been involved in Christian ministry for a good portion of that time in my career. I spent 6 years working for a local Bible camp and year-round ministry center. And the most recent 7.5 years, I was associate pastor at Charlie Lake Community Church. And so I've always been connected to Fort St. John, have a lot of family in the area. And in our family, we were in a season of transition and looking ahead to what might be next for us, and had not thought about the Salvation Army, but wasn't a whole lot more than before Christmas. Cameron, the previous executive director, who's a friend of mine, mentioned that there would be a transition coming up, and it seemed like it might be the right thing for me to connect with, just in regards to my heart for the community and for leadership. So yeah, it just was a good season to step into something new.
Is there, you mentioned the transition, is there kind of a term limit on how long an executive director will serve in the role in each kind of branch of the Army?
No, it works a little bit different. So people who are familiar with the Salvation Army might remember in the past we had officers who were working in a role that shared the role of social services as well as chaplain or pastoral work in the church ministry side of things. So Cameron was the first executive director, And so executive directors don't have a set term, and they will serve as long as they see fit best. It wasn't that Cameron was necessarily looking to move on. He still has a good heart for the Salvation Army, but a good opportunity came for him to connect with the city of Fort St. John, take on a maintenance manager position with them. So, yeah.
Interesting. Now, this, at least in my experience, the kind of public face that I saw of Cameron in my time here, and I've only basically been here as long as Cameron was the executive director, but your public face of your role is kind of a lot of fundraising efforts, Christmas time with the Kettle campaign, doing media such as this. What do you suppose kind of in your past experience has prepared you for that, doing kind of work as you've done?
Yeah, so being involved in the nonprofit sector for a good portion of my career, I've been engaged with the community when I worked for the camp. Fundraising was a big part of my role. We were very dependent on our community and partners to support the work there, capital projects, ongoing work for the equipment, supplies, staff that we needed. And so I developed a good relationship with business leaders and community partners over that time. And even with the church, a number of years ago, our church was quite involved in bringing a Syrian family into Fort St. John, and we were dependent on connecting with the community to support them and integrating into Canada. And so it's something that I'm not unfamiliar with, and it's a part that I really enjoy, just building the relationships, because work like we do is dependent on good strong connections with those who care about the community and can bring gifts and abilities to make the needs met.
Now, as you said, you've been here for quite some time in Fort St. John. I mean, is it unusual for an executive director, a role like this, to have somebody local in the role? And is it, do you bring something different that maybe previous people who've had a similar role won't be able to because you're already so familiar with the community?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that familiar with the organization as a whole, the Salvation Army, to know what their history has been. But I know, especially for Cameron, he put a lot of time into really develop the networks in the community here, and that was really important to him. That he was, was hoping that we'd be able to bring in a community leader such as myself, and so the connection worked well. And I think what it gives for me is I'm already familiar with the community, with leaders in business, in government, have some existing relationships already. And so I'm able to pick up really well where Cameron left off and to build on it, rather than spend a lot of time trying to get oriented with the culture of the community and how it functions. Being that I'm from here, I'm able to keep the work rolling on the strong foundation that's been established here.
Yeah, strong foundation indeed. As I understand it, I mean, the Kettle campaign, for example, blew past its goal at Christmas time. It seems like you've kind of taken over a situation which is really looking good for the next year. So speaking of that, what are you kind of expecting the next few months to look like as the vaccine and COVID kind of is continuing, but is sort of ebbing and flowing away, hopefully? How's that going to look for the Salvation Army, you think?
Well, I think, we've been trying to meet the needs on the ground as tangibly, as practically as possible. And my main priority is, making sure that what we've done well continues to be done so. And so really being a support to our frontline workers, our staff. We have a great team here that leads with our community and family service program. We're actually bringing in a new manager next week who's also a person in the community and familiar with our work. And we have a wonderful team over at our shelter. And of course, our thrift store, we have a great team there. And so just supporting them, building on what's here, and hopefully gaining momentum. We're optimistic, and we hope that some of the people that we've been servicing, because they've been impacted by COVID, hopefully they'll be able to get back into the workforce and be able to pick up where they left off. But for someone who's been in the north like myself, as long as I have, there will continue to be the needs as transitions happen in the seasons of the economy ebbs and flows. That the work we do is always critical.
Now, again, given the solid footing you're on, do you have any concerns given that there's still so much unknown with, as you mentioned, the economy, the pandemic, or are things looking so well that you think you'll be able to weather it and kind of look ahead to kind of the next fundraiser, the next blitz, to kind of worry about summer and fall even?
Yeah, I think I'm a visionary thinker, big picture thinker, and so definitely I want to be looking ahead to how we can continue to make inroads in meeting the needs in our community. Yes, there are many of them, but we have the resources and people and the capabilities, I believe, to meet those needs. We already have some fantastic partnerships with organizations like BC Housing and Food Banks BC, with NEAT, with our Nourish food program, and the relationship we have with Northern Health and other community advisors. So building off those partnerships, I think we can really continue to make inroads into tackling some of the hardest challenges we're facing, things like the needs we have in low-income housing, and that there's some really exciting opportunities that we're looking at that I believe we'll see within the next year or so some real solid progress in.
Is there anything specific that maybe in preparing for the role or just as a member of the community beforehand, you're hoping that you can accomplish while you're here? Something new maybe, or just even an improvement of something that you've seen in the past?
I think I like to see things organized and run efficiently and smoothly. And so as I just get familiar with our systems and our process, which we have some wonderful things in place that Cameron and the team have got going. So as I get familiar with it, I think it will just be to continue to build on that. One of our values as the Salvation Army is stewardship. So, we take it very serious, the responsibility we're given by the community to take care of the funds that are given to us, the time that's invested by volunteers and our staff. And so of high importance to me is to make sure that we're using that time, using those funds to the best of our ability to accomplish as much as we can, and that we're recognized for excellence and for professionalism in what we bring.
All right, Jared. Well, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us about this today, and I'm sure we'll be chatting many more times in your tenure as the Executive Director of the Salvation Army. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks so much, Dub. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. That's Jared Braun, the brand new Executive Director of the Fort St. John Salvation Army. We'll be right back to talk all about the Fort St. John Literacy Society right after this on Moose Talks. Complete Safety Services, with 10 years serving the Peace area, they strive to offer the best safety service in the oil and gas industry. Complete Safety Services specializes in safety with their experienced field safety advisors and medics. Complete Safety Services can prepare companies for their core, develop written safety programs, and manage ISN and ComplyWorks.
Complete Safety Services also offers traffic control, hotshot, and pilot car services on 93rd Street. Look them up online, completesafety.ca. As a 100% Indigenous-owned company, they are proud to support the oil and gas industry.
The 2021 Fort St. John Community Awards nominations are now open. Nominate a person, a group, or an organization that deserves to be recognized in the community. This year, the award ceremony is Acts of Kindness, a reflection on COVID-19. Nominate your neighbor, a friend, or a local business in one of several categories. You can fill out your application form by going to fortstjohn.ca and look up Community Awards nominations. Recognize those that help the community by nominating them now. The virtual gala is on April 29th. Celebrate community. Celebrate Fort St. John.
You're shopping around for an automobile.
Come see Fort City Chrysler.
You're trying to find the very best deal.
Looking for a fine pre-owned vehicle? Fort City Chrysler has cars, trucks, minivans, and SUVs, four-wheel drive pickups, and diesels too. Many with remaining factory warranty. And they're all quality inspected and ready to go. At Fort City Chrysler, you're buying from your hometown dealer. No pressure, no hassles, just honesty and integrity. Only at Fort City Chrysler, only in Fort St. John.
With pizza from Panago, you don't have to try so hard to connect.
Okay, kids, pizza night! Slice, slice, baby, am I right, huh? This pizza, it's za-bomb. Oh, now we're having some lulls, huh? Living large with 2 mediums? And you guys said I was cringy. Come on.
Earn instant pizza cred with a Fam Jam Combo.
Family Jamily.
That's 2 medium recipe pizzas, cheesy bread, and 2 dips for just $34. Order yours at Panago.com.
Get rid of all that road grime and salt this winter with Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash. With their 8-function wash bays and indoor vacuums, you won't have to spend any time out in the cold. Plus, the Mick Suds storefront is loaded with detailing supplies, air fresheners, and some winter necessities like lock de-icer and winter window wash. Keep your vehicle nice and clean this winter with Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash on Alaska Road next to McDonald's. The one to get her done, Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash.
This year, M&M Food Market is celebrating 40 years of helping Canadians put delicious meals on the table. They offer the best easy-to-prepare, top-quality foods with personalized customer service. They also offer one of the best franchise packages out there for you. Ever wanted to help Fort St. Johners put delicious food on the table? Are you hungry for new opportunities? M&M Food Market has a franchise opportunity for you right here in Fort St. John. Email store337@mmfoodmarket.com or visit their location at the north end of the Totem Mall.
Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at energeticcity.ca.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to be talking now all about the Fort St. John Literacy Society. It is Family Literacy Week after all, and they've got lots of great events coming up that we want to chat about as well. So joining me now from the Society is their Executive Director, Jessica Kalman. How's it going today, Jessica?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for making a few minutes to chat with us today. So why don't we start with Family Literacy Week? It's already almost over, sadly, but you guys have kind of had a lot of cool events going on, including, I think, a bit of a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, so it is Family Literacy Week. It's been running since the 24th of January. It ends this Sunday on the 31st. Some of the things that are going on around town is we're doing a book scavenger hunt. So every day we've hidden a package of books around town, given some clues, and there's been some really clever families out there that are finding them super fast, much faster than we thought. So today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to do 2 per day. So the first clue will come out at 8 for the first book, and the first clue will come out at 1 for the second book. Mm-hmm. And then the public library is also doing their annual Camp In. Unfortunately, it can't be held at the library this year, but they're partnering with Backcountry to encourage families to set up a tent and do a Camp In their homes. So that's exciting. And then the city, of course, has all of the skating surfaces ready to go. And there's a storybook walk in Matthews Park. This year's theme for family literacy is Let's Be Active through Move, Play, and Learn. So we're really encouraging families to be active together and embrace our northern climate and get out and enjoy the winter as much as we can.
Well, that speaks to my next question. I mean, when you hear the word literacy, you might immediately think, well, just kind of books, but there's more to it than that, right?
Absolutely. So with this year's theme, we're really focusing on physical literacy. So that's really all of the movements that are required for our daily life. So when children are developing things like walking and jumping and skipping are all part of their motor development. So it's really important to focus on the physical aspects of literacy as well.
And the story walk's very good for that. I've had you on before and we've chatted a bit about this, but why don't you tell us a bit about some of the other things that the Literacy Society always kind of does, that's not kind of these regular events, but kind of the services you offer for people maybe to need help with family literacy or just literacy in general.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll just kind of maybe touch on one little event first because it's going to be an update on this completely. So February 3rd, we're doing an introduction to the local settlement agencies with Swissing Success. So we'll be giving kind of an update on what the services are that the 3 organizations provide, as well as Work BC. So some of our core programs include an ESL program to help newcomers with their English skills. We have a one-on-one tutoring program where clients and learners can just self-determine what their learning objectives are, and then we find a tutor that can help them with that objective. So an example for that is we currently have quite a few people looking for computer literacy skills. Just with the changing work environments, there's more people that are coming back in from maybe labor jobs and need more of a computer or a desk job. So just with a fast changing in technology, there's always new things to learn on the computer. And then we do have the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, of course, where we are providing a book a month to families around town for children aged 0 to 5. And I just checked yesterday and we have 885 kids registered. So that's super exciting.
Wow. And that program is only like 2-3 years old, right? It's kind of a brand new, still kind of a brand new thing for Fort St. John.
Yeah, so we started it, this fall will be 3 years. And so far, thanks to our lovely sponsors, we've been able to distribute over 18,000 books to kiddos in our community. So we're really, really thankful to our supporters and super happy that we can provide that service.
Now, I did want to talk to you about this, and we have before. You guys, I think you're funded for the next little while, but you are kind of looking to establish some sort of long-term funding for the program because, it isn't free. It needs the help of corporate sponsorship to provide these books for children. So why don't you tell us a bit about what you're looking for in the future to have people help you out with this?
Sure. So we have been applying for grants like crazy and trying to sustain the program, but it's just become very evident that that's not going to quite cover it. So what we're hoping to do is secure 12 corporate sponsors to sponsor the program monthly with a 2 to 5 year commitment. So we're asking for a $4,000 per year sponsorship in the calendar year of the organization's, the calendar month of the organization's choosing. And then that will be their month of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And we're hoping that some organizations can make a 2 to 5 year commitment so we can really focus on growing the program rather than just being able to offer it. We'd really like to be able to ensure there's no service delivery interruptions because the kids that are receiving these books are so excited. We're getting pictures and feedback that it is really making a difference in the families and the homes, and the kids are more excited about reading, which we always love to hear.
Yeah, it's a wonderful program. I've had my daughter in it basically since she was born. You said there's 800 and some odd kids in this. Are people kind of busting down your door and being, man, I'd sure like to get my kid in this, and you just you can't because we don't have the funding? Is that part of this moving forward? You want to expand so everybody who wants to can be in this program?
Yeah, unfortunately, currently due to funding restrictions, we're only able to go up in small increments per month. Every month there's kids turning 5 and graduating out of the program, so that allows extra spaces for new registrants. However, we're getting to the point where our registrant numbers are quite a bit more than our graduation numbers. So I think in the queue, when I looked yesterday, we have about 60 kids that are waiting for their approval. After the 885. And then, of course, there's more registrants every month. So we would really like to be in a place where as soon as we get a registrant, we can approve them. So with that $4,000 a month, it pays for the month, but it also gives us a little bit of a buffer to ensure that registrants that are coming in can automatically approved as needed.
And I also wanted to comment, I know you've got some books set up behind you these aren't, cheap is not the word I'm looking for, but these aren't like flimsy books. They're like the real thing. They're like collectors. You can have them for first kid, second kid, third kid. You're really getting a great value.
Yeah, so I'll just maybe give you a quick little peek here. So this is a hardcover book. It's the Little Engine That Could. It's actually Dolly's favorite book. So every child gets that as their first book as a welcome to the program. And then Kindergarten Here I Come as their graduation book, readying them for school. But all of these books are chosen by a panel of professionals with a focus on social emotional development, cultural awareness, arts appreciation. They're really picking themes that are providing a lesson as well as some art that is allowing children to use their creativity. So they're not just cheapy books. They are quite quality.
Yeah. Oh, and finally, I believe you mentioned the first event you got coming up next week. I believe you got another one coming up a little later this month. I wanted to make sure you had time to chat about that too.
Yeah, for sure. So on February 12th, we're going to be hosting a free class on being a good neighbor. So it's become very evident to us that since everybody's at home, they're spending more times in their households and near their neighbors, that there's been a little bit of friction because, of course, stresses are high and maybe some people are unsure of what the regulations are. So it's called Be a Good Neighbor, and we're going to be having a bylaw officer or supervisor from the city of Fort St. John join us to go over what a bylaw is, how it affects your life, some regulations on noise, animals, garbage, etc., just to kind of give us an idea of what our rules and regulations are, since we're spending so much time in our homes.
Absolutely. I think it'd be wonderful for people who've been here for a while and also people who just moved here to know what they should and shouldn't be doing. Okay. Jessica, yes. Where can people go to get a hold of you if they want to do corporate sponsorship or sign up for some of these things? What's the best way to find that out?
Yeah, so all of the information is on our website or our Facebook page. Of course, people can call us at our office, which is 250-785-2110. Or, of course, we always accept emails at info@fsjliteracy.ca.
All right, Jessica, I really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It's Jessica Kalman with the Fort St. John Literacy Society. We'll be right back to wrap things up on Moose Talks right after this.
Happy Frank here from Travelant's Happy Trails RV. As we all stay inside to stay safe, it's the perfect time to dream of what adventures the upcoming camping season will bring. Now is the best time to be looking at new RVs because it's the early bird sale at Travelant's Happy Trails RV in Grand Prairie. With spin to win and up to $1,500 off your purchase, in-house specials, low interest rates, now is the best time to buy and save. But wait, there's more! I love that. Social distancing is easy in our 70,000 square foot facility, and strict COVID protocols are in place to keep your family and our family safe. Yes, you have to wear a mask. Yes, you have to sanitize. And yes, you will have fun. Your safety is our concern, but it's time to live the dream and go RVing. You deserve it, and we are here to make it happen. Call for pre-approval at 780-538-2120. Travelland's Happy Trails RV Annual Early Bird Sale, January 28th to February 6th in North Grand Prairie. See you there.
TravellandRV.ca. Our community first. This is Moose Talks with Dub Craig on Moose FM.
Our thanks again to our guests, Jessica Kalman and Jared Braun. If you haven't already, make sure you follow energeticcity.ca on Facebook to keep up on all your local news. Anytime we post a story, it appears on Facebook to tell you to go check it out at energeticcity.ca. You can also watch this show live there if you'd like. If you're hearing it on the radio, you can see my beautiful face and the even more beautiful faces of our guests live every time we do the show on Fridays. Or you can watch it again if you like as well. That does it for another episode. Adam Rayburn is the producer of Moose Talks. I'm Dub Craig. Be well.
Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Moose Talks, a weekly talk show about Fort St. John and the North Peace.